What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and we're going to be discussing today why Forest have been so bad away from home this season. Now, before we get into the video, if everyone could just drop a like on the video and go down below and subscribe, it would mean a lot to me. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers as quick as possible, and I'm about just over 100 or so to go until I get there. Gonna try and get some type of giveaway sorted for 1,000 subscribers, so keep your eyes peeled for that. But yeah, I would appreciate it. Thank you. Right, let's get back into the video. So, Forest away from home have been, I think, the worst or joint worst side in the league. And probably the worst coming this weekend because I believe Leeds won at Wolves 4-2. And it was us and Leeds down at the bottom. We've taken 6 points from away games this season. We won away at Southampton in January. We've drew away at Brighton, drew away at Everton, and drew away at Bournemouth not long ago when Sam Surridge tapped in a 90th minute equaliser. But it has been poor this season. Really, really, really poor. And I don't know what it comes down to. It comes down to whether we are actually not that good of a team and the home support get us through it, and then away from home it shows. Could it be that our style of play doesn't work away from home? Could it be the Premier League teams are too good for us? Who knows? But before I give you my thoughts on why I think it might be, then I'm just going to roll a video from fellow Forest YouTuber Rads and his thoughts on why Forest have been so bad away this season.
Nottingham Forest on the road this season, a real tough watch to say the very least. There's plenty of things I could say about this, but for starters I think we could say the fact that we are so quite clearly daunted by who we're playing against so often. The stadiums, the world-class players more often than not that we're playing against. We're in awe of the opposition, we respect them too much, and we do that a lot at home as well. That's just a general problem. And then tactically we're way too defensive. We don't seem to know how to attack, especially away from home. We frequently are playing a high line, we're frequently left incredibly exposed as a result of that. Against Spurs, for example, one of their goals was a ball straight over the top, and it was so obvious to see what was going to happen then. I suppose you could say some of the lineups in the past haven't been ideal, but in terms of just how we approach games, it's so predictable, it's so negative, and it's an accident waiting to happen, to say the least, and it needs to change.
Thank you, Rads. Thank you for sending that video in. Everyone go subscribe to him. He's a great Forest content creator, and it's good for the scene to have him in it. But yeah, thank you again, Rads. Now let's get on to why I think it might be. I personally think it comes down to a mentality issue. I believe from the start of the season, on the opening day against Newcastle, we thought more about the occasion than the game, which is fair enough. It's Forest's first time back in the Premier League in 23 years. And we're coming up against Newcastle, who at the time you thought you could go there, maybe nick a point. They obviously had a good end to the season last year. And what they've done since in this season has been phenomenal for their team. But it all started from that day. And once every away game goes by, obviously the next away game we went and got a point against Everton, and you think, you know, and we should have really won that game. It wasn't unless a late Damari Gray equaliser, but we should have really won that game. And but it all stemmed from them 2 games. You get the loss, you get the draw, and then you lose, you lose, you lose, you lose. And we're starting to pick up points at home, but no points away. And you start after every single week, you start to think to yourself, is it going to happen again today? Are we going to score a goal? How many are going to we concede today? And I know some players may even come out, and Coop may come out and think it's not that, but trust me, it is. It's a mentality thing, and it's hard to even get your mind set right to go into a game and think, right, we're going to give it all. Not that they don't give it their all. In some games they haven't, and I think they can hold their hands up, but in some games they definitely have come out and give their all, and it's just not been good enough. But for some of the games we've got absolute spankings on the road. West Ham last week against Tottenham, Man City and Arsenal. They're the 2 top teams in the league. We're not going to be judged of going down for losing 5 and 6-0 away to Man City and Arsenal. It's not going to come down to them results. But it's still not a good look to go and concede that many goals away from home every single week. And it's become a formality for Forest fans that as soon as we get an away game, we've lost it. Now, we've got an away game coming up against Leeds, who everyone knows they just won 4-2 on the weekend away at Wolves. A big win for Leeds this week. So they're going to be in some type of form. And Forest are coming off of, I think we've got 2 points out of 21 points in the league. That is not good enough. And we come back from the international break against Wolves. Big 6-pointer. Must-win game. Probably the biggest game for Forest since that day at Wembley. We win it, then everything starts to look up and you go into that Leeds game with a bit of confidence. You lose it, you're probably going to be in the bottom three by that point, and it's out of your hands, the relegation battle is, because then you've got to rely on other teams to drop points, etc, etc. But we'll see how we go at Leeds. Obviously, Ellen Road is an intimidating place for some players to go. So it's a big-ish ground. The fans get behind them. I don't think they're a bad team, Leeds. I don't think they're an amazing team either, but especially when the crowd get going, they can be good. And obviously they've got a few good players as well that are going to hurt Forest. But likewise, Forest have got players that are going to hurt Leeds. But yeah, I do definitely think it's a mentality thing as to why Forest have been so poor away from home this season. And after every single week, after another loss, another 3-4 goals conceded, not many scored, then it's just going to keep getting worse and worse and worse. So Forest just need to get to the end of the season in 17th place. Hopefully home form keeps us up. And then we can address the away form next season. We'll go and sign different players, go sign better players. Maybe Coop has to have a look at himself as to the way he approaches away games. But it's not been good enough this season. And if we do go down, I'm not going to say it's because we lost against Newcastle at home or drew against Everton at home, things like that. It's purely going to be down to away form. It's just not been good enough. And it's been that of a relegated team. So yeah, thank you for watching. Drop a like below. Let me know your thoughts on why Forest have been so poor away from home this season. Subscribe if you haven't. And until next time, see ya.